Hi, I'm Tim of the Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Vacheron Constantin Historiques Triple Calendar 1948, reference 3100V. You can see and you can purchase this triple calendar moon phase on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this and our entire collection of pre-owned Vacheron Constantin timepieces. You can see this watch, which bowed in late 2017, is a perfect match for the role of a modern men's dress timepiece, while effectively channeling its 1940s predecessor, the ancient reference 4240L. The timepiece is 40 millimeters in diameter, and that's an effective size for a modern men's dress watch. While the cues are distinctly vintage, nevertheless, the watch does fill up the wrist in a fashion that the original simply could not. From lug to lug, it's still a compact and wearable 47.5 millimeters, and in my estimation, you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference with no concerns about proportion or fit. In terms of thickness, it looks thicker than it is, 10.7 millimeters. You can see that there is a bit of a rolled lip to the bezel as well as the sapphire, so you'll have no difficulty wearing this underneath a dress cuff. Furthermore, although the lugs are drilled close to the case to create a more integrated aesthetic, nevertheless, a curvature to the spring bar ensures that there's no constraint in the movement of the strap. You can pull it straight down if your wrist does happen to be smaller like mine and get a good, secure fit. The strap is also of exceptionally high quality. Now, it has a navy blue coloration, perhaps a little bit lighter even than navy, to match some of the blue tones of the dial. There is a 200-piece limited edition of the 1948 with red accents, including the moon phase and the date track, and there is a 200-piece blue series in rose gold, and this is the blue series. So this is the rose gold 1948 blue series, one of 200 pieces made. Large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top of the strap, a smaller alligator scale on the bottom. This is usually where you'll find calfskin to cut costs. A Vacheron, like for example crosstown rival FP Journe, is now using a different scale, the softer small scale on the back, but the same material, alligator on both sides. This is solidly a 5-year strap thanks to the durability advantages imparted by double alligator. Now the buckle, as you can see, is a simple Maltese cross, polished pin arrangement, nicely made, low in profile, ideal for quick and fluid adjustments on the wrist. You can see it also has a curvature to it that nicely matches the arc of the lugs. Now that the watch is off the wrist, we can get a little bit closer and focus on details of dial and case. The dial is a highlight of the watch, but the case is even better. A triple guidron structure runs longitudinally and circumferentially. As you can see, it gives the watch body and volume and detail and a sensuous quality, a sex appeal that would be lacking with a simple sheer or even rounded case profile. It's almost quadruple guidron because of the swell of the domed sapphire atop the bezel, and the bezel is quite minimalist. As you'll note, it does fall away and largely disappear when you view the watch from head on. The lugs, however, should not be undersold, as they're a significant component of the style. Teardrop in profile, beautifully fluid. They come to a point, and the level of attention to detail, from the slight upturn of the underside to the fashion in which they're sculpted into the flow of the triple guidrons, is gorgeous and memorable. While the steel model does have the pure cow horn teardrop lugs, this one perhaps a little bit more discreet and upscale in its profiling. The dial too is upscale compared to the steel model. While the steel model features perhaps a less deluxe appointment with all printed features and no framed gold apertures for the day and the month, this watch features diamond polished dart style indices for the hours, as well as diamond polished and applied rose gold tri-Romans to add to the opulence of this dial. It is distinctly richer than the steel model, which is all printed with blued steel baton hands. Here we have rose gold hands to match rose gold indices, to match rose gold numerals, to match rose gold frames for the calendar functions. More than that, we have the addition of a moon phase compared to the 1942 in steel. Here we have a watch based on the vintage reference 4240L, L for Lune, the moon phase on this watch featuring the blue sky that seems more natural than the red sky on its counterpart limited edition. It's a handsome and romantic appointment appointment that is a fascinating counterweight to the practicality of the triple calendar. So you have your day, your month, and your radial date. The radial date, all in blue, is another of the features exclusive to this limited edition. Its counterpart features a red radial date. The index, a red triangular indicator, circulates on a monthly basis, and you can see the dial center is what's known as opaline, or a subtly frosted metallic. It has an ivory coloration about it that's a perfect match for the red gold of the case and the red gold of the appliques and the hands. Now on the case back, let's spare a moment to appreciate the Maltese cross crown, but on the case back you have the very picture of Geneva high horology. Now the movement is the caliber 4400/1 QCL, so you have a combination of quantième, or a calendar, and the moon phase, but it's all based on an in-house Geneva hallmark signed, manual wind, 65-hour power reserve base caliber. You'll remember this caliber as the caliber that debuted in 2008 on the first iteration of the Historiques 1921 American. You also note that the watch features all of the standards you'd expect from Geneva high horology finish. Beautifully textured and perfectly aligned linear Côte de Genève across the bridges, and you can see how one side of each wave is light, the other side is dark. That's a sign of the real thing, not stamped or embossed, but laid down with an abrasive wheel, stripe by stripe. You'll also note that the edge of every bridge, and it's perhaps most evident when you turn the watch flush to the camera, but the edge of every bridge is mirror rounded with hand-laid anglage, not a machined bevel, and you can see that glint and gleam as I move the watch flush to the camera. You'll also note that all the screw heads, as well as the cap to the regulator, turn black when I turn the watch flush to the camera, and that's because they are emblematic of black polish. Just as with anglage, one of the most difficult achievements and most difficult assignments for the finisseur, the artisan who is responsible for finishing the individual components of the watch. From this angle you can see not only the screw heads and the regulator cap turning black, but you can see the glint and the gleam at the edge of every rounded mirror finished bridge, and significantly you'll note that the same treatment is applied to every screw and jewel countersink. There's a tight and even perlage across the base plate, and now we can get the watch back in the light and perhaps focus at a more distant plane. This is a beautifully executed ultra-thin movement that allows the watch to be both compact and refined. A single mainspring barrel, and you can see even the barrel cap itself is beautifully finished with a sunburst motif. No detail overlooked in this watch, front or back. Handsome, limited, and undoubtedly one of the most successful iterations of Vacheron's heritage-based design in the modern era. This watch was the absolute talk of the fall season pre-SIHH debuts. Handsome, opulent, classically styled, with a design that's already stood the test of time, and modern in-house watchmaking to match. You can see this Vacheron Constantin Historiques triple calendar with moon phase on our website.